I want to begin with what I said after blessing the palms. I say to those who gathered where we bless the palms, I said, do not drop the palms when things get tougher. That palm you are holding is a sign of your commitment, is a sign of your faithfulness to God. That I am following you, Jesus, to Jerusalem, knowing quite well what awaits him in Jerusalem. There will be persecution. We have read the Passion, so touching. And we saw that the people, including the disciples, dropped their palms. Some were shouting, crucify him. Peter said, I don't know him. I've never seen this man before. But they were all carrying the palms, shouting, Hosanna to the Son of David. We'll follow you forever. You are our God, you are our King. There is no other God but you. It is easy to shout in the church. It is easy to demonstrate our faith inside the church. But what happens when we leave the church on the street, in our families, on the road, in our business centers, in our working places? Do we throw away our palms and deny him and betray him? Let this palm today, anytime you hold it, and that is why we are encouraged to put it in our houses, in our homes, where we will be seeing it until next Ash Wednesday, when we will burn it and they will use it on our forehead to remind us that we are dust, and unto dust we shall return. It's not something to play with. It is a symbol of faith. So people will not just miseducate you or inform you, what are you doing with the palms? It's a symbol. We belong to symbolic and iconic church, where everything we do in the church has a meaning and is very significant and beneficial to our faith. So, the palms reminds me and you that we must follow Jesus no matter what. Even death, St. Paul says, cannot cut us away from Christ. Even death. So I don't want to mention any other thing, because the most fearful thing for us is death. Even death, in the midst or before death, we cannot drop our faithfulness to God. We cannot betray and deny Christ. And Peter did it, and immediately he went out and he cried bitterly, and he tried to make it up. So lesson number 1, the palm we are carrying is a sign of faithfulness, of total dedication and commitment to God from now until next Ash Wednesday, throughout the length of 2026. We are carrying it. Lesson number 2, from the first reading, Prophet Isaiah, is one of the literatures of the suffering servant. And it is very important what the suffering servant said. I gave my back to those who struck me, and my cheeks to those who pulled out the bed. I hid not my face from shame and spitting. For the Lord God helps me. Very important. Underline that, my brothers and sisters. That God is our helper. That God helps us no matter what we are going through. No matter what we are passing through. God is our helper. He's with us. He will never abandon us. Sometimes the life may be too difficult and we begin to question our faith. We begin to question the presence of God in our lives. Even Jesus today, he shouted, "Father, do not forsake me." Because without God, you cannot carry the cross alone. Without God, you will fall. Without God, you will deny your faith. That is why we need him every day to help us. And the suffering servant said, "I was able to go through difficulties and challenges because God is my helper." God is there to help us. Brothers and sisters, wherever we find ourselves, life is difficult. Life is challenging. We know it. We know it. It's not always a bed of roses. There are moments you feel as if the whole world is against you. It could be in your marriage. It could be in your business. It could be in your spiritual life. You feel like you have to die. And you have seen people who commit suicide. People have been traumatized. People gave up. But God is our helper. And that is why we stand firm. In moments of crisis, as Christians, as Catholics most especially, God is our helper. We look unto him to help us. We call on him. Help us. Because without you, we are finished. We are gone. Help us. Lesson number 3. Jesus, I don't know if you paid attention, did not ride on a horse, but he rode on a donkey. He did not ride on a horse. He rode on a donkey. A symbol of two things, humility and simplicity. You know, many of us say we are humble, but are you simple? The simplicity of your life will express, will reveal if you are really humble or not. He could afford horse, but he went for donkey. It's not everything that your money can buy that you must buy. It's not everything you desire that you must have. As a Christian, that's what we call asceticism. Asceticism. You have the privilege of this, but you say, no, I won't have it. Out of my own volition, I don't want to have this. I want to have this simple one. Humility goes with simplicity. Are you simple? Are you a complicated person? Or are you a simple human being? One of the attributes of God is simplicity. And that is what the second reading is telling us today. That though he was in the form of God, he emptied himself, kenosis. He emptied himself and he assumed our human form. God could save us without coming to our level. But he humbled himself. He came to our level. He became simple. That is what Jesus did today. Humility. Though he was God, he humbled himself and he became obedient even unto death. Death on the cross. It's not everything that you can afford that you must have. Asceticism, penance, during this period of Lent, we have demonstrated it. Some of us, of course, not all of us. Many of us have seen a bottle of cold beer and they look at it and said, for this Lent, I will not take you. You have seen big pieces of meat and you refuse to take it because you're in the season of Lent. We have denied ourselves food and pleasure, not because we couldn't afford it. There are families who say during this Lent, nobody eats egg. Not because they can't afford it. They could afford it, but because of asceticism, because of the simplicity of this season of Lent, they say no. People say no makeup. I will leave my body the way God has created it. There is nothing to patch. I will be myself. I will be natural. This period of Lent, simplicity. Jesus went for donkey and not for horse. It's not everything you can afford you must go for. Your Christian faith teaches you penance, asceticism, and self-inflicted suffering. Self-inflicted suffering. Stations of the cross. Having your own fasting. On Good Friday, coming Friday, we are going to fast. Not because we do not have food. We are going to abstain from meat. Not because we can't afford it, but because of simplicity of our Christian faith. Humility and simplicity. The last point, brothers and sisters. I want to take two characters. There are so many characters they have mentioned in the gospel today. But I want to take two of them. Number one is Pilate. We behave like Pilate many times. Pilate had the opportunity to free Jesus, to let him go, but he did not do it. In fact, the reading said that the voice of the crowd prevailed against his will. How many times have we allowed the crowd to condition us? How many times have we allowed other people's voices to change our hearts and our minds from doing good? You have the possibility to help someone, but because your wife or your husband or your friends, they ask you not to, you refuse to do that. How many times have we allowed the voices of our tribes to go against our will? We know the right thing, but because of the crowd, the tribe we belong to, we choose to follow them. There are many times we behave like Pilate. Should I free Jesus for you and release Barabbas so that you will kill Barabbas? They said no. Instead, free Barabbas, crucify Jesus. Even when the wife came to him and said, I had a dream. This man is innocent. You have to wash your hands off. He has the power. He has the authority. He could do it. But he refused to do it. Many times you have people, you want to pay their school fees. Maybe that's your maid living with you in the same house. But your wife said no. She will not go to the same school with our children. But your conscience is telling you to do something good. And you obey the voice of your wife, the voice of your husband. You are Pilate at that very moment. And what we do sometimes, we wash our hand. Well, God, you know already, I wanted to do good, oh, and she is the one who wants me to do bad. We wash our hands off. But the blood of this man, this woman is upon us. Finally, my brothers and sisters, is the character of the thief. One of the thieves that were crucified by the side of Jesus. The character of the one who said to him, the first one said, save yourself and save us. But the other voice, even in the midst of suffering, spoke the truth. Stop speaking like that. This man is innocent. We are guilty of what we are suffering now. But this man is innocent. Can you tell your friend truth? Can you tell your wife the truth? Can you tell your priest the truth? Can you tell your leaders the truth? Can you speak the truth even to somebody that is helping you? Sometimes we keep quiet. We cannot speak because somebody is helping us. We are benefiting, so we can't say the truth. We cannot correct people. He corrected his colleagues even in the midst of suffering. But he cried out, "Remember me in your paradise." And Jesus said, "Today you will be with me in paradise." My dear brothers and sisters, even the thief received salvation. That is to tell us that the passion of Christ is not in vain. The suffering we are celebrating from today, this Holy Week, throughout this period, is a passion, a Holy Week to remind us of our salvation. What Jesus did for us, the suffering he went through to make us holy. This is a Holy Week. Let us take advantage of this Holy Week. Probably before now, throughout the Lent, you have not lived the life you're supposed to live as a Christian. The church set this 1 week aside for us to make amends. It is called Holy Week. Let us be holy. Let us eschew evil, eschew sins. Let us ask God throughout this week to help us. Let this be a week of prayer. Create time to read the Word of God. Let me give you an example or give you a spiritual help in this week. You can begin from tomorrow. We have 4 Gospels, 3 Synoptics, and 1 Gospel of John. And the whole of these 4 Gospels, they have the passion narratives. Can you take Gospel of Matthew on Monday? Read the whole passion of the Gospel of Matthew. Read it on Monday. On Tuesday, can you take the one of Mark, the Gospel of Mark, the Passion of Christ? On Wednesday, can you take that of Luke? And then on Thursday, can you take that of John, which we are going to take on Good Friday. And on Good Friday, we are taking that of John. Can you reflect on it? And all this will help you to enter into the mood of Holy Week. It's a week of prayer. You can say your rosary more. Spend time before the Blessed Sacrament. Sit at the grotto. You can abstain yourself. You can practice asceticism, my brothers and sisters. Deny yourself certain things. Control the time you spend on social media. Go and check your screen time. You know, many of us don't know that your phone records how many hours you spend on the screen. Sometimes you check, you see that you have spent 3 hours on social media every day. 4 hours. You can reduce it this week just to teach yourself a lesson that everything is vanity of vanity.